Hey guys, Mike Leski here, Outreach Coordinator at Mac Incorporated. This is our next installment of our home Life Bridges exercise video. So I just want to go over just 4 of my favorite stretches you can do at home. You can do them seated, you can do them standing. There's just a bunch of different variations, but I'm going to go through some really easy ways to incorporate them at home. This is an awesome kind of full body little stretch routine that I like having all of my classes do, and pretty much any exercise stuff I've ever done always includes these couple of stretches just because they're so great. So the first stretch is called a torso twist stretch. So I'm going to keep my feet facing forward, my knees facing forward, and my hips square to the front of the chair. I'm going to turn, reach across my body, and kind of use the back of the chair as a little bit of leverage here, and just kind of turn until I feel a little stretch, kind of my middle and my upper back. So this is kind of like a little free chiropractic adjustment too, because all kinds of stuff is going to start cracking and popping when you do this stuff, and that's okay. So just go to the point where you feel a little bit of stretch. Switch sides. You can hold it for anywhere from 10 to 20 seconds. You can also do this as kind of like alternating movement for reps too. So if you just get bored holding your stretches, you can just kind of turn till you feel a stretch, hold it for a 1 Mississippi, turn back to the other side, hold it for a 1 Mississippi, and kind of the same recommendations. You can do that 10 or 20 times on each side. The next stretch I really like is called a seated cat-cow stretch. So all we're going to do with this one is start in a really good upright rigid posture, and then I'm going to let my shoulders roll forward, let my chin tuck down, and I'm really going to push my shoulder blades kind of out to the sides and forward and let that upper back really roll out. I'm going to hold this position for a couple of seconds, then I'm going to go back sitting up nice and tall, trying to arch my upper back, squeezing my shoulder blades together, kind of packing my head back into my neck and my traps, those big muscles next to on either side of your neck. Just pull it in nice and tight, hold that for a couple of seconds. And just doing the same thing again, where I just kind of roll forward, get a big round in my upper back, kind of let everything relax, and kind of force that little push forward with my shoulder blades and my arms. Holding that for a second, and sitting up nice and tall with a big squeeze. And then just so you can see what's going on, I'm going to turn to my side here. So just up nice and tall, good rigid posture. Tucking that chin down, letting those shoulders roll forward, rounding that upper back. Really pushing everything through and out, holding it for a second, and then a big squeeze up top. Just try to get those shoulder blades as close together as you can. Imagine like you're trying to hold a pencil between your shoulder blades. So with this one, kind of same recommendations. You can do it 10 or 20 times each way. Just make sure you're really paying attention to your breathing and really trying to push that range of motion each time where you're trying to round and squeeze as tight as you can. Next one I got for you is just a seated hip flexor stretch. So this is a great stretch just for really stretching out the front of that hip, side of that hip, lower back, and everything. So especially if you spend a lot of time sitting, your hip flexors can get super tight and kind of scrunched up, and this kind of opens up your hip, extends your hip, and stretches all that stuff out. So you're just going to scoot up to the front of your chair. So I'm going to turn to my left side here. So this means my right leg is going to be dropping down in front. And I'm just sitting up nice and tall, just scooting that right foot back, trying to actively kind of push and open that hip up, sit up as tall as I possibly can. Then I'm just hanging out here for a couple of seconds. So once you get here, you can either, if you're really tight, you really feel it when you get here, that's fine. You can just hang out in this position. If you want to change it up a little bit, feel a little bit different stretch, you can kind of move your shoulders around, kind of wedge and leverage around in different directions. So, you know, if this is another stretch you can hold for 10 or 20 seconds. So then I'm going to switch sides here. Just same thing on this side. So again, just actively pushing that hip through, trying to open that hip up. Then once I kind of get set, feel a little stretch in there, kind of move around, feel some different spots. Just move through any positions that feel tight and you feel a little pull in there. That's a good one to be in. So the final stretch I got for you is a really good little ankle mobility stretch. We're working on you know, a little bit of toe mobility, a little bit of like underside of your foot mobility stuff here. It's an awesome workout. So all I'm going to do is just pull my toes up as high as I can, hold that for a second. Then I'm just going to roll and pull my heels up as high as I can and hold that for a second. This is another one 10 or 20 times each way. Just trying to get those heels up as high as you can. Just hold that top position, trying to get those toes up as high as you can. And really pay attention to the weight shifting on your feet. Really try to get up on your toes, try to get up on your heels, and really try to almost kind of push your feet into the ground a little bit when you do this one to stretch those toes out a little bit. So, yeah. So those are my 4 favorite exercises I like doing at home. Thank you so much for watching.